Hello guys, welcome to today's tutorial. My name is Bonaventure, but you can call me Bonorime. So today we are going to learn about service workers and how to use service workers for caching. First of all, what is a service worker? You see? A service worker is a script that your browser runs in the background, separate from a web page, opening the door to features that don't need a web page or user interaction. You see, service worker can be used for features like push notification, but mostly it is used for things like caching. Yeah, and that is what we are going to learn today. So, what is caching? Caching is the process of storing copies of files in a cache or temporal storage location so that they can be accessed more quickly. That is to say, a cache is a temporal storage location for copies of files or data. So, web browsers can cache HTML files, JavaScript, and even images with the help of service workers just to load websites more quickly. That is to say, sometimes and most often, caching is a situation whereby you want a web page to show even if a user's mobile network is turned off. For example, I have turned off my mobile network. Let's reload this page and see what's going to happen. See, there is no caching in this web page. That is why I reloaded it without any mobile connection or internet connection, and it went offline. It didn't show any information. So that is what caching is all about. So today we are going to learn about caching. Now, to do that, we open our Visual Studio Code and create a folder called caching, which I have done. Yeah, I've done it already. Create a folder called caching and open it in Visual Studio Code. Now, currently, I have three files here: the cache, the home.html, and the script.js. The script.js and the cache.js are still empty. Now let's focus on the home.html. So we generated a copy of our home.html, and we had this. The title is home. We only have a head. We have a header here, h1, with the content of home page. We have two buttons here in a group. So the first button has an event listener of click with a function of register, which we haven't implemented at the moment, and we also have another button with a function on register. So this register and unregister, it's going to register and unregister our service worker. We are going to implement it in a bit. Now we have our main. It has a p tag with content of we are caching. Let's just check it out in our server, our live server. So at the moment, this is how it looks. It still looks ugly, but I'm just trying to show you something. So we can now open our developer tools. So we can go to our application, then service worker. You notice that there is nothing here. There is no service worker here. There is no cache, nothing at the moment. Now, if I reload, it reloads. Okay, I think this is off. Let me go back and open it again. Open live server. Don't know why this is going off. So if I reload, it is still here. You can notice if I reload, it is still here because it is on. I mean, the live server is still on. Let's assume that I'm offline. So first disconnected from network. Let's just try it and reload this page. It goes offline. So we are going to implement service worker and caching so that even if we go offline, our web page will still be visible to the user. So let's do that. So first of all, we are going to style it. So let's style our page. Let's just add our style.css. Our style.css. So I'm going to copy and paste this. So let's look at it at the live server again and see how it looks. You see, we are caching. There's this. So if you reload, still going to be there. Reload, still going to be there because the live server is on. So we are going to, okay, now that we have added our style.css, let's go to the script and register our service worker. So to register our service worker, we are going to do this. First of all, we have a function. So I'm going to just copy and paste this. So if service worker in navigator.service worker, then register a file called cache.js, which is this file here. Then after registration, if it is successful, console.log service worker registered. Service worker registered. Then pass in the object. Now if there is an error, cache the error. So this register is just the register function that will be called when you click on this. Now we have this already. Register. Let's test it out. Let's see. Register. Okay, there's an error. Let's click on it again. Oh, service worker registered. It has registered. Now let's create the function of unregister. Just going to grab it just to save our time. We're going to grab it. So function, if service worker in navigator, service navigator the service worker dot ready. Then if it is successful, then let's register registration dot unregister. If there's an error, console.log error.message. Now let's just check it out. Oh, you can just bring back the live server. Let's just see our developer tools. In case you don't see it, I'm just opening the developer tools. So you can just service worker register, service worker unregistered. So if you look at it, we have our service worker here, register and register. But most often, you wouldn't want the user to click on register service worker or register to do that. So we're going to implement a service worker that gets registered when the window loads. So I'm just going to grab it and paste it here. So to save our time. So if service worker in navigator, window.add event listener of load, then navigator.service worker.register cache.js. Then if it is successful, just console.log service worker registers automatically. If there's an error, just console.log error occurred now, an error. So let's just look at it. I'm going to open this. I'm going to just close this and open live server again. Whoa. So if you have if you know any other any extension I can use in VS Code that would allow me use my live server properly, you can just put it in the comment section below. So let's just look at it. You can open our live server. You look service worker registered automatically. Now we have registered our service worker. Now let's implement our caching. So to implement our caching, first of all, we are going to install it. That's number one. We're going to install it. So we are not going to, now there's something, we are not going to use window.add event listener. No, because it doesn't exist in this scope. So what we are going to make use of is self.add event listener, add event listener of install. So the event, you can just console.log, console.log service worker installed. See, we can even pass the events, so it's of no use anyways, but we can just pass the events here. So we can go back, open our live server again. I hate doing this. Now live server again. Just look at it. Service worker installed. You can see it here. So you can just look at the install event. See it's just a normal event that is install event. Now after installing, we can just the next thing is to activate it. The next thing is to activate our cache. So we are going to do it in 4 steps. First of all, let's store our cache name. So this is our cache name. Call it cache 1, or you can call it call it cache 1 or cache 4, cache 47. Yeah, cache 47. Now let's just activate it. Now to activate, we can do self.add event listener of activate and event.wait until handle remove and cache. This handle remove and cache is a function which I'm going to create now. So handle remove and cache, handle remove and cache, handle remove and cache is going to have 2 functions: remove old cache and cache files. Now let's create our remove old cache. Our remove old cache is going to be an asynchronous function. So asynchronous function, remove old cache. Then await caches. Caches is a method in JavaScript. So caches dot keys dot then the cache names, then cache names dot filter old cache. Caches dot delete old cache that is not equal to cache. Now if it is successful, console.log old cache is cleared and return true. Now after you've done that, we'll create the second function, which is cache files. I'm going to cache files. I'm going to just grab this and paste it here. Now to cache the function cache files is not asynchronous. So caches dot open cache. Now this cache is same thing as this cache. Then if it is successful, then cache dot add all home.html this, script.js this, and style.css this. Then after that, let the self skip waiting. We've done that already. Now after doing this all, it means that we have we have cached our files. So let's look at it. Service worker installed, service worker registered. You see it has installed. So if you look at this now, cache.js, okay, cache.js. Now before we can see that, let's just first of all fetch it. Let's fetch it. Self.add event listener fetch, service worker fetching event, then event.respond with fetch event.request dot cache, and then caches or match event.request. That way. So let's see. Failed to fetch. Why? So before I do this, I'm going to rearrange my functions. I'm going to allow this to come last. Come here after the cache files, like this. Open it again. Let's see. See, our cache has been registered, so it is working properly. So let's just turn off our server. You see, our files are here, even though our live server is not on anymore. But if you go over here, no matter what you do, our file will still be here. Our file will still be working because we have cached it. So guys, this is how you do caching in Vanilla JS. So I hope you enjoy it. So if you really enjoy this and you really enjoyed it, just hit the subscribe button and the like button. Don't forget to share. Thank you and come back for more content like this. Bye bye.